I remember a time when everything seemed stacked against me. No one saw anything in me, not even me. I was surrounded by doubt, negativity, and excuses. And then something happened. I started to whisper something new to myself. Maybe I can. That whisper grew into a voice. That voice became a roar. And that roar turned into results. It all began with one thing: belief. Belief isn't wishful thinking. Belief is fuel. Belief is fire. Belief is what transforms your "I can't" into "I must." Too many people are walking through life with someone else's blueprint. They're living by limitations that were handed down to them by their environment, by their upbringing, by teachers who said, "You're not smart enough," or by friends who laughed at their dreams. But let me tell you something, those people didn't build you. They didn't breathe life into your lungs. So why should they be allowed to shape the reality you live in? You are the architect. You hold the pen. And the truth is, nothing becomes real in your life until it's first real in your mind. If you walk around believing you're average, you will settle for average things. If you believe you're destined to fail, you'll avoid risks and shrink every time an opportunity shows up. But when you start to believe that you were born for something more, when you begin to see yourself as worthy, capable, and powerful, your actions begin to reflect that belief. You speak differently. You walk differently. You dream differently. You stop waiting for life to hand you a chance, and you start creating your own. Belief is not just an idea. It's a psychological blueprint that determines your behavior. If you believe the roof is low, you'll never jump high. If you believe doors are locked, you won't even try to open them. But when you shift that internal blueprint, when you design a belief system that says, "I deserve to win. I am here for a reason. I can shape my future," then you begin to attract the resources, the people, and the opportunities that match that internal design. The world responds to your level of belief. Think of the greatest minds, creators, and leaders. None of them began with perfect conditions. They weren't waiting for the right time. They were fueled by the right belief. They drew up their own plans, brick by brick, thought by thought. And even when it didn't make sense to others, they kept building. Your belief system is your foundation. Your thoughts are your materials. Your habits are your tools. Every day, you are constructing something. The only question is, are you building a life by design or by default? Your mind is one of the most powerful tools you'll ever possess. But it doesn't lead, it follows. And what it follows is faith. Your belief, your conviction, your inner voice that says, "This is possible for me." You see, the moment you believe in something deeply, Your mind starts to organize itself around that belief. It starts scanning the world for evidence to support it. If your faith is rooted in fear, your mind will find every excuse not to try. But if your faith is grounded in possibility, your mind will look for doors, even in the middle of walls. We were never taught this in school. They taught us math and history, but they didn't teach us how to condition our faith. They didn't teach us that what we believe becomes a filter, and that filter colors everything we see. Two people can look at the exact same situation. One sees a dead end. The other sees a detour. One sees rejection. The other sees redirection. What's the difference? It's not intelligence. It's the quality of belief feeding their mind. Your mind doesn't care whether your beliefs are helpful or harmful. It just obeys. It's like a GPS. You program it with your destination, your belief, and it takes you there. If you feed it thoughts like, "I'll never make it," or "I'm too late," or "I'm not enough," your mind will go to work proving you right. But if you tell it, "I can learn," "I can grow," "I'm capable of more," then it starts opening up mental doors you didn't even know existed. It starts scanning for chances, strategies, and people that align with the vision you've created inside. Faith is the soil, and your mind is the seedbed. Whatever you plant, whether it's faith in failure or faith in greatness, your mind will cultivate it. That's why belief isn't a luxury. It's a necessity. You can't walk into the future you want with a mind stuck in the fears of the past. Once your faith is activated, once you start believing you're worthy of more, your mind becomes your ally, not your enemy. It stops fighting you and starts fighting for you. Fear is natural. It's a part of life. Every person with a dream, a goal, or a desire for more will encounter it. But here's the truth. You cannot allow fear to take the wheel. Fear will whisper every reason why you shouldn't try. It will bring up every past failure, every shortcoming, every insecurity. It will magnify the worst-case scenario and shrink your potential down to nothing. But fear only has power when your belief is weak. When your belief is strong, fear becomes background noise. Belief doesn't mean the fear disappears. It means the fear doesn't get to decide anymore. The difference between people who move forward and people who stay stuck isn't that one group is fearless. It's that they've trained their belief to be louder than their doubt. It's that they've looked fear in the face and said, "You don't run this." You must get to a point in your journey where the possibility of what you can become matters more to you than the pain of staying the same. That's when belief wins. Your fear wants you to pause, but your belief needs you to push. Fear says, "What if you fail?" Belief answers, But what if I fly? Fear says, you're not ready. Belief shouts, no one ever is. Go anyway. You've got to drown out that inner critic with a louder inner coach. You've got to override the fear that says you're not enough with a fire inside that says, watch me become more. Fear builds walls. Belief builds bridges. And you don't build a future by playing defense. Think about it. Every breakthrough you've ever had in life came after a moment of fear. But you chose to go anyway. That's belief in action. That's you betting on something greater than your limitations. And the more you do it, the stronger you get. You develop the muscle of courage. And courage doesn't mean you're never afraid. It means your conviction is stronger than your hesitation. Fear will always knock. But when belief answers the door, fear has no choice but to leave. One of the greatest traps that stops people from chasing their dreams is the need for validation. We wait for others to co-sign on our vision. We wait for family to understand, friends to support, the world to clap before we've even taken a single step. But here's the hard truth. Your dream wasn't given to them. It was given to you. That means it won't always make sense to them. It won't always be convenient or comfortable for them to support. And that's okay. You don't need a crowd to believe in you. You need the courage to believe in yourself. People will project their fears onto you. They'll try to put their limitations in your pocket and call it advice. Some will tell you to play it safe, to be realistic, to stop chasing impossible things. But what they're really saying is they don't believe it's possible for them. And they're hoping you'll settle too. Don't do it. Don't shrink to fit someone else's comfort zone. When you walk by faith and not by sight, you become a threat to people who never left their safe zone. But you weren't made to fit in. You were made to rise. Your belief is a light. And light doesn't need permission to shine. Even if no one claps, even if no one shows up, even if you're building in silence, you keep going. Because you know what happens when you stay consistent. The world adjusts. The very people who once doubted you will one day ask how you did it. Not because they suddenly changed, but because you did. You created proof where they only saw potential. That proof came from your belief. If you look at every successful person who started with nothing, you'll find a common thread. They believed in themselves before anyone else did. They walked alone. They failed in private. They cried behind closed doors. But they never gave up on the vision. That's what belief looks like. Not loud confidence, but quiet determination. You don't need a cheerleader. You don't need everyone to get it. You just need a heart that refuses to quit, and a mind that says, even if no one believes in me, I will. So many people are waiting for the perfect time, the right conditions, the full plan. But let me tell you, there is no perfect time. The stars won't align just right. The fear won't vanish overnight. The map won't suddenly appear. And if you're waiting for life to give you guarantees, you'll be standing still for the rest of your life. Success doesn't come to those who wait for certainty. It comes to those who move with conviction, even when they can't see the full road ahead. You don't need to know the entire journey. You just need to take the next right step. That one step might feel small. It might seem insignificant, but that step builds momentum. That step activates belief. That step changes your story. When you take that first move, even in uncertainty, something powerful happens. The universe responds. Doors you couldn't see before begin to open. People you never imagined meeting begin to appear, and opportunities you weren't prepared for begin to align. Faith isn't about walking blindly. It's about walking boldly. It's about saying, I may not have all the answers, but I believe in what I'm building. I trust in the power inside me. I know I wasn't given this dream by accident. That mindset separates the doers from the dreamers. The difference between those who live in regret and those who live in results isn't knowledge. It's action. You've got to be willing to take the step before the path is lit. And that takes faith. Every champion, every leader, every success story started with one decision to begin. They didn't wait until it all made sense. They didn't wait for approval. They moved, unprepared, afraid, unsure. But they moved. And that first step, however shaky, led to the second to the third. And before they knew it, they were walking in the very reality they once only dreamed about. You don't build a legacy by standing still. You build it by stepping forward. Even if your legs are shaking, people are always watching, even when you don't realize it. They're watching how you handle the storm, how you carry your dream, how you rise after the fall. And while they may not say it out loud, your belief is planting seeds in the hearts of others. Every time you keep going, every time you show up, every time you take another step in faith, you become living proof that it's possible. And sometimes your courage becomes the blueprint for someone else's breakthrough. You don't need a microphone to be a leader. You don't need a stage to make an impact. Sometimes the most powerful influence is quiet, consistent belief. When you hold on to your vision in the middle of chaos, you show others what resilience looks like. When you speak life over yourself, even when no one else does, you give others permission to do the same. Your belief becomes a light, and in a world full of doubt, that light shines farther than you know. You have no idea how many people are looking at your life right now, silently wondering, can someone like me do it too? They may not ask you directly. They may not cheer you on. But they're watching how you rise, how you build, how you believe. And when they see you push through setbacks, overcome fear, and keep your head up, something awakens in them. They begin to believe, not just in you, but in themselves. Because you made it real. You made it visible. That's the power of belief. It doesn't just lift you, it lifts others. It breaks generational patterns. It shifts family trees. It inspires strangers, heals friends, and wakes up the dreams in people who were ready to quit. Every step you take in belief isn't just for you. It's for the ones coming after you. You are paving the way, not just proving what's possible, but embodying it. And someone, somewhere, is watching you and thinking, if they can do it, maybe I can too. Now I want you to hear me, and hear me well. The life you dream of, the one burning in your heart, keeping you awake at night, calling you when the world is quiet, is possible. Not because it's easy, not because you have all the answers, but because you have the power to believe. And that power, that's where everything begins. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need the whole world behind you. You just need one spark, 1 ounce of faith, one voice inside that says, I will not die with my dreams inside me. You were not born to live small, to blend in, to settle. You were born to rise, to stretch, to overcome, and to lead others simply by believing when no one else could. So from this day forward, I dare you to walk like you believe, talk like you believe, move like you believe. Don't just wish, declare. Don't just hope, decide. Don't just exist, live on fire with purpose. Because once belief takes root, there is nothing, absolutely nothing, that can stop you. Now go out there, not just to make a living, but to make a difference. Because the world doesn't need more people playing small. The world needs you, fully alive, bold, unshakable, believing.